Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to the Fanatic Forum. I'm your Fanatic and host, George Bueller. Happy to be here with you guys. And, of course, I couldn't do the show here without the animal to my hawk here, the manhammer himself, Seth. What is going on?
I love that you went for the Road Warriors reference. They are my all-time favorite tag team. The only tag team that comes close is the Briscoes to me. The Road Warriors are just the GOAT. Yeah.
Well...
what a rush.
Yeah. Oh, what is going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I have I didn't even get to tell you before we started the show. I have a special announcement. I am on a social media now that you can follow. And
oh, that's a big one, Elizabeth. Oh, good no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you heard of this thing called Letterboxd?
The movie one,
yeah. So you get to you make a profile, you go on it, and then like you log what movies you watched, like you could put star ratings for them and put like write reviews for them and everything. Like most of the people just put like one sentence and shit, and it's like that. Yeah, why not? I got more thoughts than that.
Sure.
But yeah, you can find me on Letterboxd at Seth Manhammer, so you can follow me there.
Wow.
Yeah. So don't send me links and shit to other stuff like video. Don't do that. Like Letterboxd is all Letterboxd, so it's like right, yeah.
Nice. Eric is in the house.
Eric, what up, brother? I figured he'd probably be in on this show because
Oh yeah, this is going to be a fun one tonight here because we said last week it's like, all right, we've talked done a couple of movie shows in a row here. It's like we need to do some wrestling because kind of switch it up a little bit, right? So we have chosen to basically we did on our own time a rewatch of a classic that WWE Vault just posted to their YouTube page, which that WWE Vault page is a godsend. That one and the WCW, like there is so much cool stuff on those.
Yeah, they are just like dropping so much stuff for free on YouTube. Stuff that it's like tape trading gold. Stuff that we paid for the network for. Because it was like that's part of the reason why we like so many of us subscribed to the network for the entire duration, the WWE network for the duration that it was there, was because of the tape library. And now they're just throwing it up on YouTube for nothing.
That's on YouTube, So straight out of 1985, we're going to be discussing a little bit here the AWA Superclash 1 with we had a double main event. First was Rick Martel defending the AWA World Heavyweight Championship against Stan the Lariat Hansen. And then our big number one main event here was Magnum TA, the young upstart, going up against the man himself, Ric Flair, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in a barn burner.
Well, technically that wasn't the main event, but that was the semi-main.
Well, they did swap them on the. You're 100% correct. When you watch the video, Flair and Magnum is the last match, but in reality, Martel and.
We'll get to why. It makes sense why later, but yeah.
It makes sense why, but how the match was versus the Flair Magnum match, you could see why for the tape they swapped them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because Flair Magnum is absolutely the main event. It is also the longest match on the card too.
100%. Hey, Martin's in the house.
What up, Martin?
Yes, Ric Flair had the best haircut ever. Yes, he sure did. Oh yeah, the infamous
dugout brawl. Yep.
We'll be talking about that. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
man, oh, man. And of course, I got to make mention last week's episode, we were talking about the favorite movie, the year you were born. I don't know if the audience, is getting, we got new people picking up the phone here and getting on the Fanatic Forum. I don't know. The algorithm changed, but either way, we had a huge episode, lots of views on Facebook. So thank you very much to everyone who tuned in. Hope you come back for the next one here. Thank you.
We're gonna talk stuff like that all the damn time.
Yeah, really, it does. So, all right. Well, we have got some comics to talk about here. Before
do we get to play how many
comics.
Batmans?
We do get to play how many Batmans?
Ooh,
Yes.
I'm gonna say two Batmans.
Okay. I forgot. Oh, there's one I forgot to grab. Hang on.
Oh.
BRB. I got both the headphones.
I'm the intermission music. If I was far more creative, I would have a monologue prepared, but I don't.
All right, a brief musical interlude.
There we go. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, too bad I had that stupid Monty Python and the Holy Grail like the intermission music.
Right.
Yeah, that was great. All right. So, yes. Do you want to play how many? So you said two Batmans?
I'm guessing two Batmans.
You would be incorrect. It's only one.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
I think
and by the way,
curbed your Batman grabbing too because we play this game.
No, there's just I try to get a little more in the weeds and try to get a little more picky if I need to. So okay. Not dodging anything here because there was actually some cool stuff here. So hey, what's up, Scott? Welcome to the club, man.
He's the viewer that's adding all the views to Facebook.
Cool.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. But anyway, no, I'm just trying to let some other kids into the party here when it comes to my comic picks here. So yeah, but we've got some good stuff. And by the way, I almost forgot to get your Batman Spawn, but I will get you one. So
if it's not gone now, I don't think it's going anywhere.
No, like I said, we have boxes downstairs full of like the variant covers and A covers, and we got stuff. Oh, what is up, V? Too sweet. Good to see you, brother. All right, gang is all here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, our first pick, I guess we got to talk about Batman #2 of the current new series.
Okay, so we've still got gray and blue suit Batman, but which Robin is that?
That is Tim Drake. And for fans of Tim Drake, this is a very Tim-centric issue. He gets to do a lot of stuff in this issue. But yeah, it just, again, I like the tone of this new Batman run that Matt Fraction's doing. It's kind of old school. It's kind of fun. They're setting up for some stuff, but it's just, it feels a little, lighter in tone in the best possible sense. If that's this way, but yeah.
That cover, like that whole idea, like the two covers that I've seen of that, just give me like very Alan Grant Batman vibes, from his mid or late '80s, early '90s run of stuff. It's just the vibe,
Yeah, I was like, sorry, I'm laughing. I got some comments popping up here. I got to bring up Martin's here in a moment, but V saying that there's the Batman book. Now let's bet how many Bat-related titles will appear. This is the only one. Seth
I lost how many Batmans this week, V. So there were two. There was only one, and I guess two.
And Martin's got some kind words here. He says, "Hey, Facebook people, George here is something like the almighty pope of classic comics, and Seth is Cardinal." What's that? My French
Cardinal Rick. Yeah. I know that's a very high figure in Catholicism.
Machiavelli level of knowledge, fasten seatbelt, guys. Well, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, we know a lot about very weird things that, if we applied ourselves, we could be doctors or lawyers. Instead, we're on a Facebook show hanging out with y'all, and I would rather be here.
Yeah, we probably could have cured cancer, but instead I could just tell you about Green Lantern lore. So, I'd rather do that. And speaking of Absolute Green Lantern #7, this is probably my favorite issue of the series because of because the Absolute series for all across the board screws the traditional mythology and lore of the character they're doing, right? They jumble it up, they take out things, they add in new stuff just to make things seem fresh. They've done that the most with the Green Lantern stuff. Like basically, it's not so much colors based on the moods and the emotions are still there, but there's also sort of kind of like a status of power as well. And so, green is not necessarily the greatest power. It's more of kind of like the wild card. It's the most unpredictable one, whereas gold, not yellow, but gold is kind of the highest status of like awareness and whatever else. Red, they kind of kept red. Red's still red. But they made Tomar Ree a Red Lantern.
Okay.
Yeah, sweet old Tomar Ree, but yeah, good noble guy there. It's like, yep, they made him a badass. And then, of course, the Black Lanterns are very, very naughty. But this issue finally introduces a character that they've been really kind of waiting on introducing into the Absolute Green Lantern universe. Sinestro finally makes his first appearance. So we do actually have a designation between a yellow and a gold.
Okay.
Yeah, so very interesting stuff here. Also in the Absolute universe, this was a banger here. The one-shot Absolute Evil. This focuses on the villains of the Absolute universe. And as we find out, they're a union. They work together. They meet on the regular. They make plans. And now, like, okay, Ra's al Ghul's been dealing with this Superman problem. And the U.S. government's been dealing secretly, unbeknownst to most people, with the Wonder Woman problem. And then, basically over with the Arkham issue with Batman. And we finally get to see a much more longer glimpse of the Joker, but not his final form. Because apparently, Joker, while he seems to be one of the wealthiest men on the planet, the Joker is kind of a misnomer, kind of like gangsters of old that basically you call them like, Scarface Al Capone or Babyface George Nelson. And the men themselves did not care for their nicknames. The Joker is a misnomer because this guy doesn't bullshit. He doesn't lie. He doesn't make jokes. When he tells you something, it's going to be. But apparently there's a monster underneath all that we're going to see later on. So we get our first little bit more glimpse of the Joker here, but we are also introduced to the Absolute universe of Green Arrow and Hawkman, and there are surprises involved.
Okay.
So, yeah. Very cool stuff, setting up a lot bigger universe because, again, with the Absolute universe, this is kind of supposed to be a darker, everything is bad world because it was essentially created with Darkseid's energy. So why wouldn't the villains be more on top of things than our heroes? Because none of the heroes have met yet. None of them have crossed over, helped each other out, or even aware of each other's presence.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah. None of them have met yet. There's no Trinity. Actually, we do have a Justice League. It's all the bad guys. They call themselves the Justice League.
So is it like, compare that to something like Earth 2 with the Crime Syndicate kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's kind of very similar to that idea.
Yeah, a much more broader scale. Yes, because basically, Ra's al Ghul, again, he's not so much. Of course, Ra's al Ghul is a lot different in appearance. He looks almost like a Viking for how long he's been around, or less a caveman, because he is quite large in stature and has like some tribal tattoos on his face that have been there for a very long period of time. So he's not the slight villain with the sword and stuff like that. He can basically kind of crush you with his bare hands, sort of deal. But he controls the world. Full stop. That's I'd say. So
still the Great Darkness shows up.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and I'm not sure. The only character in the Absolute universe, and I'm reading all tales across the board, the only one who's actually mentioned the name Darkseid was Martian Manhunter, because basically we're dealing with a character on a mental plane, sensing things that aren't there, basically at a time where he was reaching out, trying to stop a white Martian. from doing their damage that they were doing throughout the series. He stumbles upon, kind of what is powering the White Martian, and the name Darkseid keeps popping up. And so it's like, it's like that was monumental. It's like the first time the name Darkseid is mentioned within the Absolute Universe. Like, oh shit, yeah, we're building, we're building. All right, got a couple indie titles here. One that was just a ton of fun. Being a Joe fan, but it was kind of fun revisiting this one again here. Another one shot from Image, Cold Slither. If you remember the infamous G.I. Joe episode where Cobra Commander wants to control the world with subliminal messaging, and so they put out a fake band with Zartan and the Dreadnoks posing as the band Cold Slither with their one-hit wonder of the same name, Cold Slither. You'll be joining us soon. A band of vipers playing a tune. Yada, yada, yada. Anyway.
That's one of the classic episodes of the original run of G.I. Joe.
Yeah, and then of course the funny thing is the episode ends with G.I. Joe stopping the Dreadnoks. They turn off the stuff that was controlling people's minds, and instead like, well, hey, we got a crowd of people here. We're going to perform a song. So basically, kind of like a rockin' version of the theme song, right? So this issue is kind of a behind the music meets Spinal Tap. And it's so appropriate that we're actually in a world where we're getting a Spinal Tap sequel. Kind of like whatever happened to these guys that were once on top and then they were hit bottom and they kind of hit a point of it. So whatever happened to Cold Slither? So that's what this is. And of course, the band does get back together again, but it does kind of play a little bit with G.I. Joe history and mythology a bit. Like basically, Cobra did sort of control the world, sort of thing. And so it's a lot of fun. Of course, written by Tim Seeley. So Tim's a very dark, funny kind of writer. So yeah, it worked. But yeah, I said very, very behind the music, Spinal Tap sort of feel to it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then, of course, my last pick here, I've been anxiously awaiting the return of this one here, but issue 7 of Rook Exodus. God, I can't express how much I love this book. You've got Jeff Johns writing, Jason Fabok and Brad Anderson on the art here. But the story for the first 6 issues is we're exploring other worlds, and we find a planet called Exodus that kind of meets our standards. And so through terraforming, we are able to colonize it and kind of basically build a second Earth. Well, there's this technology that we have on this planet where basically you've got wardens that essentially control the animal population. So you've got basically somebody that controls basically the birds, somebody that controls pigs and dogs and bears and basically any kind of animal life that would be present on there. There's somebody there that's in control that can communicate with them, meet their needs, give they can offer help and whatever else, and actually just controls a larger bond. Well, after a few years, we basically kind of just screw everything up, and the planet becomes slightly unstable, and everybody bolts. And so the only people who are left are the wardens, who are basically trying to keep the planet protected, because being the wardens, being connected to the animals, they are now have a stronger connection to the planet itself. And so it's their home. They want to protect it. But there are some wardens who have gone bad, or bad people who have killed wardens and taken over. So now you've kind of got basically a bit of a war of the wardens going on here. So that kind of started teasing with issue 6 that wrapped up our story for the first volume, and now we're kick off in volume 7, and it's full tilt boogie in here. So we're introducing new characters, and the war is basically building sides now. So we're trying to recruit members to the good guys, and finding out that some of them have already been selected themselves by the opposing forces, and then some of them who we try to recruit that would have joined up maybe can't because they're dead. So yeah, just a great sci-fi action story. The art is gorgeous. I mean, just it's one of my favorite books of 2024. And so the trade paperback of the first 6 issues are out and available. If you can't find the individual issues, I highly, highly, highly recommend checking this book out. Yeah. Okay. Can't say enough about that one.
And it's an Image book, so that means it's on Hoopla for free from your library.
Yep, and as part of the Ghost Machine universe, that basically like Jeff Johns and Fabok and a lot of other creators have created. So there's a lot of different aspects to it. You've got like the superhero kind of stuff, which is Red Coach and Geiger. You've got the spooky stuff, which is Hyde Street, which is a lot of fun. There's some family-friendly titles like the Rocket Fellers and Hornsby and Halo, and then you've got Rook Exodus, which is kind of just on a plane of its own. It's its own thing. Just great creator owned stuff, good stories. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of those books.
Yeah. Okay.
Here you are. So, all right, let's talk turkey tonight. Here, one
thing real quick. Yeah. I did watch a movie though that I wanted to plug and review, give a mini review. You've already seen this one, so I believe you'll agree with me, and I concur with your review. The Naked Gun reboot is hysterical.
Yeah,
absolutely. Watched it last night. It is like I laughed through the whole damn thing. It's got sight gags, the wordplay, like the physical comedy. Like, yeah, they ain't made a screwball comedy like this in years.
I know. I was so worried about it.
Just some of the like just some of the sight like with the coffee cups that keep going through, and then like
somebody's always got a cup of coffee with.
Somebody's always got a cup of coffee, and then some of like the wordplay, like when Pamela Anderson first comes into his office and he's like, "Take a seat." She's like, "No, thank you. I have plenty at my own house."
Right.
Or take a chair, and she's like, "No, I have plenty of chairs at my house." And then she was hysterical through the whole thing. Never would have expected her to be as funny as she was, but oh my god, she was
and of course the really endearing thing is that, like, she and Liam kind of met on the set of this movie. They fell in love, and now they're the cutest couple in Hollywood right now. So.
Yeah, you can even kind of see the weird little chemistry they had going on in this movie. And Liam Neeson, as like, he's got that whole deadpan like Leslie Nielsen straight man dialogue delivery. Like, he doesn't ham it up or anything. He just kind of plays it straight.
I think he even, because Leslie kind of has like, a different delivery that, like, this is really kind of like that you threw like the Taken guy into this movie and just, made him it. Yeah. So,
and then like Cody Rhodes is in it. Like, I didn't expect, I had to rewind it, and I'm like, holy crap, that is Cody. Yeah, that whole exchange. It's like, you shot my brother. It's like, I've shot thousands of people. You shot him in the back, hundreds. The whole like him going. I don't want to give the punchlines away to these jokes because there's very few duds, but
right.
I mean, it's
watch it. Absolutely. And of course, there's a lot of the classic Naked Gun. Like, they do the freeze frame, thing. Basically, they always did the end of the episodes of Release Squad. Stay for the credits and watch the credits, because just like in the old Airplane, the old Naked Gun movies, there's jokes in the credits.
Yeah. And the romance montage, like, if you watch the movie for no other reason, the romance montage for Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson in this movie is I will say nothing else about it other than it is one of the finest things I've ever seen committed.
It's better than the full body condom. Let's put it that way.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I was very skeptical of that movie, if it was going to be any good. We're seeing, but like I was laughing at the trailers, like, okay, I'm going to give it a chance. Because I like Seth MacFarlane stuff normally. So like, I'm going to give it a chance, and wow, I'm glad I did. So
it nailed it. It really did.
Granted, Seth produced it, and it was
he didn't write it or direct it. It was Akiva
Akiva Schaffer, one of the Lonely Island guys. Well done. Well done. All right. Yeah, sorry to cut you off there. You had to review it.
No. That is totally cool. We didn't really like. A lot of times we pregame the show a little bit before we actually air, and today it was like 10 minutes to showtime, and we just started talking about other things. So I didn't get to.
And then Michelle popped in, so you got to chat with her a little bit. It was cool. Yeah, we didn't work. We were too busy talking.
Exactly.
All right. Now for for the topic du jour here. From 1985, the AWA Superclash 1. Well, it was just called Superclash. They didn't realize there would be multiples, which there were at least 3, if I remember.
Yeah.
So,
subtitled Night of Champions.
Yes. And of course, this was basically a joint effort, basically to go against WrestleMania. And basically, there's like, okay, so we're going to get people from the AWA, from the NWA, and then from World Class Championship Wrestling, and even Giant Baba and some of his guys from All Japan show up.
Yeah, Mexico was represented. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about doing this show, like I had just seen that it was like thrown up on YouTube like a couple of hours before.
Yeah.
And so it was like the Magnum TA and Flair match. I was like, oh, well, it's like, why don't we talk about this? Why don't we talk about this show? And George is all for it, right? And so we get ready to do it. Now, it's not until I sit down to actually watch the show that I realize like how significant it was and like who was on it. And it was watching it like I didn't know other than the Magnum Flair match, I got to just experience the card as it came down. So it's like I really didn't I didn't spoil myself or anything. And I was quite surprised with who showed up in this that I was not expecting.
Yeah.
Before we get into the match breakdowns, I'll let you give your preamble too. But
well, I was going to say we've got a little bit of history for the event here. So it took place September 28th, 1985. Was at Comiskey Park in Chicago, Illinois. So kind of a nice halfway point for everybody there. Even though the Texas people probably saw it, ways to travel, but it was a good spot that was kind of like close to the AWA territory and still within the NWA territory. So.
But far enough away from New York.
Yes, far enough away from New York. The reported attendance was 25,000 people, but in actuality, it was more like 20,347. So good old wrestling inflation there. Yeah, gotta love that. Apparently, there was a dispute for the actual gate, how much money was taken in at the tickets for the show here. So Jim Crockett, who was basically running the Crockett Promotions, kind of the head of the NWA at the time.
Yeah, he was the NWA side.
Yeah, and Vern Gagne, who was basically head of the AWA, that was kind of his baby. Vern basically said the gate was $200,000, and Jim Crockett was like, no, it was $288,000. So basically, the dispute that caused a lot of issues. Jim would pull guys from basically AWA shows. Sort of thing. So this kind of caused a little bit of a rough spot for a bit of time until things were made up. But yeah, it was over $88,000.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think things ever really got really made up. That was one of the kind of sticking points that helped Vince buy up everybody around the time, because like that caused such a rift between the AWA and the NWA. And or the Crockett promotion side, that it was almost irreparable to a point.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So let's get down to our first event here, shall we? Of course, we got Larry Nelson on the mic here, so classic AWA caller there.
Yeah, and other little things too. So the way that this was done, he actually commented over the tape. So he was not there live, which is very interesting because I think that's a different style of commentary.
Well, he was there. He was there live doing ringside interviews either before and or after.
The play-by-play and the color were not. Yeah, they were added in post, and it was done. Now the version that's on YouTube is, of course, the WWE edited one to take out the music and anything that might be like that they don't want to get the rights for, but. Now I found an old ad, and I was trying to look for it, but I couldn't find it again. But it was an old magazine ad whenever they sold the VHS tapes for this. It was a 3-tape set, and it retailed for $39.99. And and so that was pretty pricey. But also too, to get a 3-tape set out of the deal for a wrestling show, because it's a 3-hour show all in all. Yeah. But with matches, like of course they had to cut out some stuff, but it wasn't that much.
Right. Yeah. Basically, they just cut out like some preliminary stuff and things like that. But overall there were 13 matches on the card.
Yeah, it was a long card, but the matches were concise and brief, and they got them in and out of the damn ring like super fast.
Yeah, but I like the look of the whole thing basically because it was at Comiskey Park, which is a baseball field. So basically, rings in kind of the center, and you've got some ringside chairs around the ring, and then pretty much everybody else in the stands. And you could tell as the night went on, I think there were some people coming out of the stands. They were just standing up behind the ringside chairs, just get a better view of things.
Yeah, because there was a lot of space between the ringside seats and baseball stadiums really aren't conducive for wrestling shows. But back in the day, like wrestling promotions would do stuff. They would do them on baseball fields and football gridirons.
Mm-hmm,
As what with the Von Erich Memorial Show, Fritz wanted that on at the
Texas Stadium.
Texas Stadium, and it was a big deal that he got a pin in the Cowboys end zone.
Yeah,
and so it's like people were trying to put sports and wrestling together in the weird
exactly.
Anyway,
but it does provide an interesting kind of aesthetic things. Like sometimes people get thrown out of the ring, and if they're near the base, like the pitcher's mound, they're getting dirty. So it's like, oh, it's kind of so it just kind of just adds a little bit of grit to it at the same time. But it's just interesting. Just kind of atmosphere, but it looked like it was a pleasant evening. Like some people were wearing jackets, but it didn't seem like it was a cold night or anything else. So it looked like it was a pleasant Chicago evening in September. So,
Sherry Martel seemed cold.
She was excited. She was excited for the match.
Sorry, y'all. That was a little uncouth, but
oh, poor Sherry. Bless her. All right. Yeah. Well, our first preliminary match here. Of course, I knew our champion for this one here, but I was not familiar with Brad Rennigan's, who basically was another guy who was an Olympic shooter sort of thing like that. So Vern loved those kind of guys. Zero personality. It's like, I'm here to win for America and pin the guy. Go me. And then you get the exact opposite of you get like the real shitty, arrogant kind of heel, Steve Regal. Not to be confused with William Regal, the British wrestler, but
which was what I did when they were talking about Steven Regal's coming out. I'm like, oh, fucking sweet, like and then this dweeb's
not that guy.
Yeah, no, I call him a dweeb. No, he was fine, like for wrestling. It was me like expecting, I'm wanting to see like an early catch match that I didn't even figure, I didn't even know Regal was in the country at that point. I'm sitting here like for like 30 seconds, my mind is just going all over the place about William Regal. But I don't know where he was at this point. I was just excited to see him.
Yeah, but no dice. You get the other Steven Regal.
That's just me.
Yeah, just classic blonde kind of, looked like he could have been the bad guy in Ski School,
Yeah.
But Steve Regal was the holder of the light heavyweight championship. So, you get it's a classic preliminary match here. You get, the crowd's, pumped for this first match. They're behind the babyface cheering him on. Steve's doing a great job working the crowd, of getting them to hate him, if they don't already. So, that's, I like that and everything. You get a little bit of a comeback from Brad, because most of the time, he's on top. It's kind of just a classic, he's on top. Steve, cuts him off, gets a little bit of his shit in. Brad gets a little bit of a comeback, and then Steve cuts him off one more time there.
Right.
So, it's kind of nice little back and forth there. Get a nice little appearance by Jimmy Garvin. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin in the match.
Yeah, I was surprised that they had interference on the first match. That's one thing that I think we'll keep coming back to with this show too, just how different it felt at times compared to a modern show. And Jimmy Garvin just shows up to distract the referee, and of course, not the outcome that he wanted, but
exactly. Yeah. So, but the thing that's funny though too is that of course it's a bit of a walk from the locker room area or the backstage area that they're coming from to get out to the field. So, and on the way, Larry Nelson meets them, and either like before the match or sometimes after the match, or again both, he'll interview people, and so you get a little bit of that going on. Well, because basically Brad gets screwed over by Steve with help from Jimmy Garvin, then you get a little bit of brawling going back and forth after the match, where it's like, okay, you think they've gone back, and all of a sudden, oh look, they're brawling out by the other player. So you get a little bit of that. So it was kind of fun. It felt it felt wild and natural, sort of thing, not planned out.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing too, it's like this very comparing it to WrestleMania, the show that it was like responding to, you know, it's very interesting because this is without a doubt a wrestling show. You know, like 100% straight through. Whereas WrestleMania was like it tried to incorporate pop culture real hard into it. And later on, they're going to kind of play with the whole idea of WrestleMania with one of the gimmick matches later. But
yeah, that's true. I think because what we saw on the tape, the only celebrity was basically a retired commentator who's kind of the known voice of Comiskey Park.
Yeah,
and so he comes out there to do match introductions, and it was a little long. You could tell this guy's he's a baseball commentator, not a wrestling guy.
I'm going to be honest. I kind of fast forwarded to some of that after a minute.
It's like we don't get to him just yet. He's a little bit later on down the line here, but yeah, it's kind of like somebody cut the mic, cut the mic,
right?
Martin says Nipplegate ahead. Yep.
Yep, and we're about to get to it. Yeah.
Yes, our next match is Sherry Martel versus the lovely Candy Devine for the Ladies World Heavyweight Championship. Candy is our current holder. And so this is kind of our first instance of like when you get when basically the match goes to the outside and they're getting dirty. And of course, like I said, this is traditional old school ladies wrestling. So like we're not in like the big fancy tailored outfits they have these days. Like they're basically in one piece bathing suits.
Yeah. They're in one piece bathing suits, and the style of wrestling, like the style of women's wrestling back then, was very much like it was more old school than I remembered it being.
Well, it's basically instead of them trying to be a little more feminine or try to be a little more this and this, like let's just be like the dudes, and we're just gonna knock.
That's what it felt like. They were just like knocking the slobber out of each other. And I liked that because that's probably one of my biggest. WWE, of course, like when their definition of women's wrestling for the longest time was not wrestling at all. It was just something else entirely. And then women's wrestling coming back, but then it's just this whole show just going back to the classic style, like the more slower, more methodical, more paced, like hard hit. Everybody felt like they were hitting hard. It wasn't strong style, but it was, it
felt a little more, authentic, like you said. And of course you get with it a little more because there's kind of the pacing, the nice back and forth, the heel starts, the face starts off well, then the heel cuts them off, so it's that classic pacing there that gets the crowd with it. So by the time you get, your victory by the face, or if the face gets screwed by the heel and the bad guy wins, then, the crowd's with it either way. They're going to react and cheer, or they're basically going to go boo hiss at the bad guy for doing the bad thing. So, there you go.
And one thing too that coming back to is the commentary. So even though the commentary is recorded post or, after the fact, the commentary was so good that you could just listen to it and still know what was going on in the match. He described every move. He described, it was very much a sports broadcast style of commentary. And I appreciated that because he was explaining the logic behind why they would do certain things, how to reverse certain moves. That stuff that does not happen in commentary anymore. Like they do not explain hardly any of that stuff.
You see that like when basically they bring Jesse Ventura back for Saturday night's main event. Jesse does shit like that. Or it's like, they're working on the arm here. They're telling a story. So he's doing it that way. And I miss that style of commentary because now you've got somebody that's kind of doing a little bit of the calls, and then you basically got color, or sometimes you got two different colors, a face and a heel color. Sort of thing like that. So you're right. It's a style of wrestling calling that's not really done much today, and I do miss that. So it was nice to hear that.
That was one thing I think Kevin Kelly excelled at, was that style of commentary, especially with New Japan, because he had to keep selling Japanese wrestling to people that like it might have been their first show. So he kind of had to keep building the story. That was what the commentary on this AWA show was. And
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, what was the guy's name again? I forgot.
Larry Nelson.
Larry Nelson. Okay, yeah. It's
Yeah.
I keep wanting to call him the Crockett boy, Crockett Jr. But like,
Dave, was it David Crockett? Yeah,
David Crockett. Yeah, I kept wanting to call him David Crockett. I don't know why. They don't look anything alike. You know, I realized that, but yeah, for some reason in my head, he just became David Crockett. I do that sometimes. But.
Larry Nelson was basically classic AWA announcer, so he was definitely one of their regular guys. So
yeah.
But yeah, I said just a good old fashioned no frills. Let's call the match as the match is. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh, and talking about our preliminary match there with Steven Regal. Martin says also not to be confused with Kinder Regal, the famous German chocolate bar. Yes. And actually, you know what that is because we have Kinder products here in America as well. Yeah,
yes, we do. Yeah.
Yep, they've got the Regal bar. They've got the Kinder Joy, the little egg with a toy inside for the kids and stuff like that. So yeah, we got that shit.
Yeah, the toy has to be different though in ours because they think the kids will swallow it.
Right. Well, yeah. We're Americans. We are kind of stupid that way, so we probably would. So
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Free courtside. Yeah.
Yeah.
They put warnings on shampoo bottles in the States for a reason.
That is true. Yeah, kids here did chew on Tide Pods.
Folks drank bleach during the pandemic. Just saying. We're kind of dipshits over here.
Anyway, Sherry Martel, Candy Divine.
Again, we get the beginning of this match is interrupted because the previous match, Brad Regans and Steve Regal, those guys are fighting on the outside, so the camera cuts away right before we're about to do the intros to see Brad slam Steve on the ground outside. So hey, there's that going on. All right, let's go back over here to the match. So the match.
The camera does get lost a lot during the show. I've noticed.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on here. Yeah. But yeah, I love getting to see an old match of Sherry in the ring because Sherry was such a great wrestler. I mean, she was such a great manager too, but yeah, just a great heel wrestler. She worked Candy really good.
She worked real good. They both looked like $1 million in the ring, like, you know, just as far as like their work rate, their style. Like I was like that we're seeing a lot of people in their prime with this show. Yeah. Like a lot of legends in their prime. You know, a few past their prime, but yeah, she and Sherry Martel really like in her element was that was probably one of the first times where I was like, this show actually is something pretty special, you know? But yeah.
But again, you get a lot of back and forth here. Candy starts getting the upper hand. She's slamming Sherry outside on the ground. So you're thinking maybe Candy's going to retain. And then Sherry starts pulling a couple of dirty tricks, pulls off a flying knee drop on Candy, and then gets the 1, 2, 3. We got ourselves a new champion.
Yep.
And then we get a post-match beatdown. Basically, Sherry's using the belt. Beat that bitch. Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Get her, Sherry. And probably to celebrate, she made her pizza spaghetti. I hope for everybody backstage because I heard that's a legendary, really good meal that Sherry would make on a regular basis. That everybody would say, "Oh, please just make the pizza spaghetti." So
yeah.
I'm not sure what's in pizza spaghetti, but you know,
I do. It's got 2 of my favorite foods in it, and just in the name. So why not?
Yeah, it sounds kind of like it may have been like spaghetti with mozzarella cheese and like pepperoni or something like that. But either way, yeah, with a bunch of wrestlers always say, "Make that stuff, Sherry." Then there you go.
Right, yeah.
But, yeah, real like I said, good secondary match there. Like this is just despite the different pacing for the classic stuff versus the modern day, I'm with it. I'm still with it. So
yeah.
Any other thoughts you had for this one before we go to our third match here?
No, I pretty much said my piece. But George took a lot more notes than I did. I watched this while I was at work doing other things too. So it's like as far as move breakdowns are concerned, yeah, it's
I went full corny on this one here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of notes.
Yeah, he texted me last night and he's like, not to brag, but I've got 5 pages of notes already and I'm only on Magnum, or I'm just now starting Magnum Flare. And I'm like, what, huh? Like, I didn't know, I didn't expect to do homework with this. So.
I didn't do homework necessarily, but I was like, I want to remember this stuff in case there's some things I forget. Where I was like, I'm just going to take notes, and yeah, like I said, I went full corny on there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Jacob Brown said Sherry was a badass. Yes, she was.
Yes,
thank you, Jacob, for tuning in. Good to see you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
And Mr. Steve.
What up, Steve?
Yeah. What up, brother?
Hello, ladies.
Martin says German kids are fairly good at swallowing shit too. Okay, so I guess kids are dumb everywhere, but you know.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, yeah. All right, so our third match here is for the absolutely made up championship of the Asian 6-man tag championship. Yeah, they made this shit up as they went here, because there was no Asian 6-man tag team championship. This was basically an excuse to get Giant Baba on a show here. What's up?
Wow, they edited this. Yeah, so I'm just now realizing it because I've got like the card pulled up, right?
Oh yeah,
it's like I'm like the match order for the card that is listed. Like I'm remembering them, I just don't remember which order that they're in. But yeah, they jacked this order all kinds of up.
I noticed that too. Yeah. And there's a couple of times they edit some stuff out, some segments out, or whatever else. So they don't edit any of the matches out, but there's some in between stuff they may cut out or whatever else. But yes, the match order on the YouTube clip that we watched is very different from what it actually was when it basically was initially happened. And I don't know if it was re-edited for the videotapes or whatever else. But yeah, the order of things is very different.
I do know that did happen. Like on videotape, they would cut out some matches from time to time or edit them just for the sake of the tape. But like I don't know why they would reorder the matches in this case. But
okay. And Mr. Bill is in the house.
What up, Bill? He's in Pennsylvania.
Say hi to the gang over at Patty's for me. And Steve, tonight we're discussing AWA Supercard 1 from 1985.
Superclash.
Oh, sorry, Superclash. Oh, I keep saying card. Well, it is a Supercard, but Superclash.
I mean, yeah. But now this match itself, the 6-man, for the Asian, for the made up title, it was still a fun match just because of who was in it. I never saw Giant Baba in a match before up until now. Like,
no kidding.
This past his prime, but this is the first real Giant Baba match I ever saw.
Oh, okay, yeah. And of course, I mean, Giant Baba was basically the Andre the Giant of Japan.
Yeah.
This dude was, a giant of a man, but as a superstar, humongous.
Oh, so. He was like the Hulk Hogan of Japan. Like, he and Inoki were kings there.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, of course, Giant Baba ran all Japan, whereas Inoki ran New Japan. They're kind of on opposite sides of the fence here. But Giant Baba's team also included Jumbo Tsuruta, and then Genshiro Tenryu, who looked like a friggin' baby in this.
He did. He was super young.
Oh, but it was so cool seeing Tenryu in a match.
If knowledge even serves, like from what I know about Japanese wrestling too, this would have been in his very early on, like they're getting him trained era because of like his very basic ass black gear. Like in Japanese wrestling, it's like you graduate gear, like you get a character the farther in that you've been, and you get like a gimmick or whatever. Yeah, so it's like, and he did a lot of ring work in here.
Year 5, you get color.
Yeah.
But he's definitely kind of not above a young boy, but still not quite up to full stardom yet. And of course, he works most of the match anyway, so he kind of plays the Ricky Morton of his tag team. On the opposite side, we have the Long Riders, brothers Bill and Scott Irwin, and of course, this is before unfortunately Scott passes away because we lost him. Another one we kind of lost early. Bill Irwin. 90s fans may know from WWE as the Goon.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Long Riders were such a better gimmick though than that. Like I loved the Long Riders.
Yeah, I mean they're basically like just cowboy, jean wearing country boys kind of stuff like that, and those guys get to team with the frickin' legend Harley fucking Race.
Yeah. The baddest wrestler on God's green earth, Harley effing Race.
Yeah, love it. So
the only man CM Punk would drink for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that story. Like people try and give Punk shit, and it's like, look, if you're at Harley Race's birthday party and he wants to do a shot, you do a fucking shot. And
yeah. That's the only time CM Punk has ever had liquor touch his lips. Probably is it's like, and I would if I was a teetotaler and I'm at Harley Race's thing, yes,
right, absolutely,
yes, sir, please don't kill me, yes, sir. Yeah, his hands are hammers. Just saying,
We saw him at the NWA Fan Fest when Eric and Steve and I went there. He was signing autographs there. He was like a special unannounced guest, right? And even coming in like he was in a wheelchair at the time, but like he was still a massive hunk of a man, like just in that chair and just like still ornery as shit, you know? And it was just Harley was still Harley.
Yeah, 100%. Martin's chiming in saying that pizza spaghetti sounds intriguing to him. Cowabunga, dude. Oh, Bill says, "Bro, Wrestle Rock."
Oh, geez, we'll have to do that one at some point.
I know. I saw that's on the vault too. It's like, that's a show I've always heard about, but I've never actually seen before.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've seen clips of it, but I've not seen the whole deal.
Yeah, so that's an intriguing one there. Martin was saying, homework? That sounds like an entire academical rehabilitation. I'm just thorough.
Someday we're going to take like all these notes that we compiled for the Fanatic Forum and put them into a book. And just like, is like accoutrement or whatever.
Last time I saw our buddy Joe from my old TV days, he and I took a little hike around Bernheim Forest, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I got something for you." He found some of my old notebooks from my basic CW days that I left behind. I didn't realize I left them behind. So he's So there's 4 notebooks from my CW days, like on my notes of me just watching CW shows, taking notes, and talking about them on my Facebook shelf.
Like, that is awesome. I remember those days. Yeah.
Yes. I have a long history of note taking for fun shit. So there you go.
He does. Yeah.
Steve's saying that he was a huge Bill Irwin fan, especially because he didn't really start watching until after his brother was killed. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so definitely go. If you can find some Long Rider stuff, go back. Like I said, they were a fun tag team. Like just, basically,
this whole match was fun.
It was.
It was a good example,
Yeah. Martin says, "Listen, George, I already told Mom I'm not going back to school. I'm not making you go back to school. I just simmer down." And Steve saying yes, Harley was a badass, still just sitting in the wheelchair. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but yeah. So notes of this match here. Of course, like I said earlier, Tenru does most of the match there. Baba or Jumbo will come in for a save from here and there. But the cool thing is that Harley and the Long Riders do a really good job of constant tags in and out. Like they're always having a fresh man in.
Yeah, it was really good, and it was good tag team psychology. Like for the number of 6-mans on this card, they were all fresh and moved and different, and I appreciated that.
Yeah. Of course, you get later on, Jumbo comes in. Basically, he's on top for a while. Tags in Baba. Baba throws Bill out of the ring, which normally in AWA rules, getting thrown over the top rope is an instant disqualification. So the commentator's like, "Why didn't this get disqualified? That's normally against the rules." But
he plays it off though. He's like, maybe the ref thinks that it's from Japanese or from Oriental rules. Like he kept saying Oriental. Like this was pre-PC days.
Yeah, but, it's like it's like no, there are people, not a rug. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
It's kind of interesting. Some of those little fun rules they would have back in the territory days, like when basically what was it when Cowboy Bill Watts was in charge of WCW and people weren't allowed to go off the top rope. It's like,
It's
like flying Brian Pillman. What the hell's he gonna do?
Right.
You just killed his gimmick, asshole.
Yeah. And the logic behind having rules, like you have rules so that the heels break them, so that they can get heat. But it's like some of them just like trying to reestablish them, like that the top rope shit. No.
Yeah. Let's see here. Eventually, Bill Irwin does get a comeback in a little bit. Then basically, once you get your final tag of Tenryu tagging Baba in here, then we get a big schmoz at the end where everybody's in the ring. But somehow the finish is you got this entire chaos going on with all 6 dudes in the ring. Then Baba pulls the big boot out on Bill Irwin, very similar to Hulk Hogan, and gets the 1, 2, 3, and the ref catches it. The crowd catches it all. It's like so. It's just so well choreographed, but like it just looks like absolute chaos going on.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, but the finish still happens. So, yeah. Interesting, but just really cool matches. Because if you haven't got to see Harley in old days work much, or if you never got to see Giant Baba in a match before,
this is probably about Harley like right before his decline, I would say.
Yeah,
because it's Harley's WWF run was okay, but it wasn't NWA Harley,
right?
And it doesn't start until too long after this, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, they make him do like the King of the Ring kind of stuff like that. And he starts basically just taking bumps for Hogan and stuff like that. So
yeah.
So, but I mean, also probably when he went to WWE, he made probably more money than he probably ever did his entire career.
I do hope he got a payday for it.
I do too. Our next match on here, and it wouldn't be an '80s match without because like I said. Classic matches. They treated the ladies matches, and then they treated our next match, the midget matches, like attraction stuff. This was special attraction stuff, things you didn't normally get to see at regular wrestling matches. So we have what also I think is another made-up title, the NWA World Midgets Championship.
I would honestly not be surprised if it was a real NWA title because they had NWA. Actually, hold on. There's a hyperlink for it on the page. Let me look at this.
Is there? I want to know if it's a real thing.
It was established in 1949. It is.
Wow.
It was later renamed to the NWA World Minis Championship. No, it. It is. It's real.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and it's interesting too because, of course, times have changed of how we refer to dwarves and things like that, and like midgets not a good midgets normally not a preferred nom de plume, but at the same time wrestlers defend the word midget.
Yeah, Hornswoggle or Swoggle as he's known now. He is absolutely he says, no, I'm a midget. And
you got to hold the Micro Wrestling Federation. Every last one of those workers on there call themselves midgets.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this weird kind of thing. You don't know what to call it. So, so if wrestling is involved, it's midgets.
Yeah. So
Eric says midget wrestling.
Midget wrestling.
Seth's favorite.
Shut up, Eric.
And Martin says the Book of George. He's sure Enoch is shitting his pants right now.
Oh wow, yeah. Man, the Book of Enoch is a fucked up book. Have you ever heard about that? It's like Book of Genesis fanfic. Yeah, it's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. His Oriental means East LA. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Larry Nelson is a white Minnesotan guy, so basically anybody that wasn't pale white was basically probably Oriental or whatever else. So, all right, so we got our World Midget Championship match. Our champion, Little Tokyo, who I of course knew very well, was a very famous midget wrestler. Been around for a very long time. Which it's kind of funny to even call him a midget. It's like, dude, he's like just a really cut, short Japanese man.
Yeah, it's like he's just a short man. Like I don't like. Yeah. Actually, both of them kind of were.
Well, both guys were good workers, but I got to talk about Little Mr. T here.
Little Mr. T, I cracked up seeing Little Mr. T come out. I'm like, no, he fucking didn't. And
I mean, it's like, how long did that dude have to have that gimmick for? Like 3, 4 years? And then by the time Mr. T's popularity kind of dried up, it's like, did you have to let your hair grow out a little bit? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, we're not dressed up like a Ninja Turtle or anything like that, but it's like, yeah, you're wearing camo pants and the cut off T-shirt, but he was missing the gold chain, so he kind of looked.
No, he
definitely
came
looked
out
like,
in the gold chains.
oh, I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah, no, he came out in the gold chains, and because that was the thing that really set me off. Like it was like I can like it would have been one thing if he came out as little Mr. T with the haircut and everything, but it was like no, he was leaning hard into it, which is what makes me think that it was almost intentionally deliberate because of WrestleMania 1 and Mr. T's involvement. And, yeah.
You know what? I didn't think of that. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that may have been a poke there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, despite my sympathy for Little Mr. T's gimmick here, this is actually a decent match.
It surprised the shit out of me, to be honest with you. I was expecting like a little gimmick, ha match, and no, it was a real damn wrestling match. Like,
those dudes worked, man. Yeah. And you get kind of a nice sequence where Little Mr. T had like kind of like a thump, kind of like a junkyard dog had kind of a finisher match or move, and pulls it off twice, and then goes for a third time, misses, and then that's when Little Tokyo basically sets him up for his move, which is kind of like a double throat chop, and Little Tokyo ends up getting the win. But yeah, a nice back and forth, just good solid work back and from both guys. So I just felt exactly, it was like, dude, I just felt bad for the Little Mr. T dudes. Like, how long did you have that gimmick for? It's like before you had to change things up,
Well, what I was amazed at was Little Tokyo wrestling in those shoes for as long as he did. Because, I feel like the first couple of minutes of the match, he's in like those traditional Japanese wooden clogs that are like, that have like the inch long hunk of wood on like 2 points of it. And I have no idea.
That's some strength there to be able to pull those off there. Yeah. So that's exactly what it was, Seth. Okay. And then Martin said, Peter Dinklage is going to weigh in on this. Yeah. Well,
man,
Pete can come at me, man, because you know what? He said some stuff about his own people in the press that piss off other little people or dwarves or however you want to call them. So yeah, that's not cool. So
yeah, no, that was Hornswoggle. That was the thing that I was mainly thinking about was when Peter Dinklage came out and said something about like he was one of the his comments were one of the reasons why in the new Snow White movie they had to go back through and redo like the 7 dwarves as like the 7 weird ass CGI monstrosities. I don't know if it's that way still in the movie or not, but he basically shamed Disney out of using dwarves. And Hornswoggle's response was basically, "Fuck you! Those are my friends that you just put out of work." Because it's like there's 7 of them, right? So that's 7 parts, 7 people that are going to need stunt doubles. 7. These people are going to be put into work. Yeah, it's like so many people got put out of work because of Peter Dinklage's comments. And so, was that really like helpful to the little people community by him doing that, or was it redactive? And Swallow got a point.
Yeah. Basically, my message to Peter Dinklage is settle down, little Mandela. You're not doing yourself any favors.
Peter Dinklage is in a very privileged position to where he was on he was on one of the biggest television shows of all time, and so it's he gets to speak from a point that no one else gets to speak from his perspective, and he cannot relate. I don't think he can relate to people that. Or
the average struggling working person. He was one of those people at one point. He may have forgotten.
Yeah.
Which sometimes that does happen. Yeah. Some people never forget, and some people do. So there you go.
And you can correct us if you want to, Peter Dinklage. We'll always have you on the show to defend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Come on down, man. We'll have a friendly discourse and have Peter Dinklage on the show. There you go. That's how we're gonna fool more celebrities to get on the show here.
We're gonna insult them and bait them. Yeah,
trying to bait them on the show here. There you go. There you go. Strategery. All right.
Exactly.
This was a match I was looking forward to because I've never got to see a Mil Mascaras match before.
I had not either. So
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it starts like into the match.
Already in progress. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
ah. So, but Mil was also defending his classic IWA World Heavyweight Championship, literally a belt he took around the world.
Yeah. Also, not a real title.
Not a real title,
Yeah,
yes.
it was the Mil Mascaras. Like it was what he took to places like he was the Harlem Globetrotters,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, he would put the title on the line and he would never lose it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Up against Buddy Roberts, 1/3 of the Freebirds.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
was actually a very good match.
Well,
Yeah,
I think basically you wanted to get somebody that wasn't a big enough star, so they weren't worried about burying anybody, but they wanted to get a solid worker. And if you want that, you call Buddy Roberts.
yeah, yeah.
So,
It was a great match. It was probably the one that the lengthwise that I hated being as short as it was because it started all the way or already in progress. No
yeah.
idea why. Like I guess there was some kind of music issue or something. But
Or, maybe there's just, an issue with the tape itself. Sometimes, some parts get destroyed. And so
yeah, that is true. Yeah, tape is
you're
fragile.
whatever the case may have been here.
Yeah.
So, but let's again, a great back and forth with these guys here. Like I said, just Mil Mascaras was got a legend in lucha libre wrestling, and Buddy Roberts, fantastic worker here. So this was just a solid match here. But yeah, Mil got, of course, all of his shit in and wins with the flying body press, his signature move, which just looked gorgeous. So it's like, so Mil was still in his good days. So yeah, it was really cool to get to see the man in action. I've only seen like clips and stuff like that. I've never got to see a full match before.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen more El Santo matches than I have Mil Mascaras.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah,
Because El Santo's older, but it's like,
yeah,
okay. But we do get a couple of cool spots here. We get a Buddy tied up in the ropes spot there, so that was always a classic one of his there. Nice suplex and chops kind of combos going in there. And kind of early on, basically Mil Mascaras had an answer for everything Buddy had, and basically starts stretching him for a while, and basically his abdominal stretch he does. So like, Buddy tries to get some shit in, but Mel just keeps cutting him off, man.
yeah.
So for a face, he was wrestling this match like a heel. But obviously, Mil retains because Mil never lost the IWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Right, yeah. And he certainly wasn't going to lose it that night to Buddy.
No. And of course, we get some representation from World Class in our next bout here. We got Kerry Von Erich versus gorgeous Jimmy Garden with Miss Precious in tow.
Yes.
And,
This is one of the highlight matches of the show for me, and because this is right after David passed, and when Mike was sick.
Yes.
So this is
because Kerry dedicates the match to Mike. So
yeah. And of course, like if we're everybody knows the tragedy of the Von Erichs, like and the Von like. I don't know. For me, like the Von Erichs have been so mythologized that, like, if I could travel in time, like one of the first places I would go would just to go to the Sportatorium to see like just a random World Class show, just to see the Von Erichs in their prime, just to sit in that venue and to see them do their thing. But it's like we got videotape now, so that's as close as I'm ever going to get. But seeing Kerry in this against Jimmy Garvin, a dude that he'd wrestled before. Many times, two familiar workers, and it was. I loved this match just because it was great back and forth. Like it was, seeing Kerry Von Erich in his prime. Like one of the legends of wrestling, one of the mythological heroes of wrestling.
And Jimmy Garvin playing the classic chicken shit heel.
Oh yeah.
He's got Precious, who Precious is much more aggressive than he is. So she's getting in Kerry's face. She's pulling interference on the referee. She's doing her job like a champ.
Yeah.
So
And
Yeah.
Carrie squares up to her. I was actually kind of surprised about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that was kind of thing. Especially in Texas, you got almost to the line of like there was almost some man on woman violence. You got real.
Yeah,
You got like Memphis would get close. Texas got a little closer.
yeah.
Don't know why that was, but there you go. But yeah, it gets like I said, get some nice heat, especially from Precious early on. Yeah, through most of the match there. But yeah, just Precious is doing her job like a champ there.
Oh yeah.
Carrie starting out strong, then of course Garvin gets a little bit of an upper hand. Uh, Carrie tries to come back, Garvin cuts him off. Carrie's knocked to the outside, and Garvin's doing the thing of keeping Carrie on the outside, which is a classic Texas wrestling move.
Yep.
You saw that constantly in Texas, where the heel would knock the face out, and then basically try to like constantly block the way or try to kick him out, basically just to force a count out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was great the way they played it too. Carrie just stomping around the ring, just being all pissed off, and finally getting that shoulder block into there. Yeah.
yeah. But finally, we get some comebacks from Carrie. Gets a 2 count. Basically, Carrie's finally getting on top. Garvin's doing the classic begging off sort of thing that he would do. Garvin tries to come back off the top, but basically, Carrie basically gives him a punch while he's sitting on the top rope there. 1, 2, 3, we're done. And we get a little bit of a post match because, of course, they're talking about the Von Erich Claw throughout the match. And we talk about later on that we're going to see Baron Von Raschke later on the show, who he's got his claw. So we're talking about the claw throughout the regular part of the match. We don't see the claw until the post match.
Yep.
Basically, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when he busted out, like Jimmy starts some of his shit, and then Carrie's just done with it, so he claws him out of the ring. Just yeah, it was worth seeing it. And then all the girls started crying and giving Carrie all the flat. Like seeing that, like, yeah, I mean, women were swooning over this man.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many dudes. I mean, in Memphis, you had girls swooning over, Superstar Bill Dundee, Jerry Lawler, when the Rock and Roll were there. And anywhere the Rock and Roll Express were, whatever town they were in, the girls were swooning. Even before the Rock and Roll, the Fantastics, good God. Oh, my God. I mean, as I say, classic 80s wrestling, you had girls swooning over very hairy dudes that were probably 20 years older than them.
Well, it's just like with the Von Erichs, it always got me just because it was like, the women would just run up and kiss them as they walked through the ring and everything. And it's like the women trying to give Carrie flowers as he walked back like this, like during this show. That was what got me. It was like, and I mean, like their makeup's running and everything. They're just trying for a split second to get Carrie Von Erich's attention.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. And of course, like Carrie's, gimmick, as all the Von Erich brothers would do, they carry a yellow rose out, the symbol of Texas. So it's just, just say with the Von Erich boys, it was Texas, 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 Texas. So, but oh man, just to see that, just that fanaticism in those that day and age with the girls, man, it's like, God.
Oh yeah. I love it.
You don't get that today with anybody. I mean, it's like, you get people that get crazy over like Taylor Swift and stuff like that. But I mean, it's like, the last time you got girls just going crazy over like a young performer, maybe it was like Bieber,
Yeah.
It's like you just don't get that kind of like insanity of teenage hormones screaming over some dude or, some.
Right. Yeah. That is.
Or whatever else. Yeah.
Maybe they just do it all on TikTok now or something, or yeah. I don't know what kids are into these days.
I don't really give a shit either. I'm 50 years old. Damn it! I'm
old. I like old. I like older millennial things.
Yeah, I like old shit. So it's like just Not that I don't care, but it's like y'all do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. I'm closer. I'm closer to death than you guys are. All right. All right, next bout here, another 6-man tag here, another classic AWA here, and this is a loaded card here. Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me see what's going on here.
Okay, well, you do your thing here.
Yeah,
I'll
carry
run down
on,
the
carry
card.
on. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
okay.
some troubleshooting.
So yeah, our 6-man card here. Big Scott Hall. This is very early in his career, so we're talking like he's got the porn stash. He's wearing like the fringe leather vest sort of thing like that. So very very young Scott Hall. He's the big stud in this match here. Kurt Hennig, also young guy, very very early in his career, but of course Kurt Hennig was way on top in the AWA. So this I think is maybe right before he becomes champion. Oh, there you are.
There we go.
Oh, there
Okay,
you
that was weird.
And then, of course, stacking up this 6-man card on the face side is Nepo Baby himself, Greg Gagne, who, standing next to Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig, looks like a friggin' dweeb because he's wearing camo pants. He's like scrawny as all hell. I'm like, can we get a real wrestler to team up with Scott and Kurt?
Yeah, I was seeing Scott Hall this young and this early on was wow.
Look at him compared to everybody else in the ring. He was a freaking beast.
He was a monster. Yeah, I was impressed. I really was, and he was the rookie. I mean, Greg Gagne sucked. Well, Greg Gagne was really the greenest, but yeah.
Yeah, he was literally wearing green camo too. Yeah, and also those lyrics like everybody else is wearing wrestling gear. Greg Gagne is wearing a t-shirt and camo pants.
Yeah,
like did you not get the memo, Greg? Like,
he thought it was a bunkhouse match.
What the shit, Greg? I swear to God. Dude McBoo popping in here. Good to see you, dude. The Superclash probably didn't include the greatest wrestler ever, Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin.
Ronnie Garvin. Oh, wow.
So probably never, it was a good match. It was a good show here. It did include one of his brothers, Jimmy Garvin. So there you go.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah. There's a Garvin on the card, and he's on the show twice. So there you go. But the opposing side here, classic AWA villains here. Nick Bockwinkel, one of my favorite bad guys of all time, because I love the intelligent, sophisticated, I'm better than you, I know 25-cent word kind of dudes, but not the chicken shit heel kind of guy. Like he'll face you in the ring and he knows he's going to beat you because he's Nick Bockwinkel. But yeah. So love that. Ray Stevens, which was cool to see him in a match, and then good old Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah, and so talking about mistaking people for who they are too, where I was actually surprised that Ray Stevens did not come out in his Dorf character. And that's another one too. It's like for some reason every time I know it's not the same, Ray Stevens, but it's like
not the same
every time. Yeah, every time I hear the name, I'm like, oh wow, Dorf on wrestling. Okay.
Oh man.
Sorry. Yeah.
So anyway, match gets started here. Scott Hall does a lot of the work because again, he's the rookie here. He's the big stud. From commentary with Larry Nelson talking about Scott Hall, I think Larry Nelson wanted to fuck Scott. Because there's a lot of talk about Scott's musculature, how impressive it is. Look at him, look at the size of him. It's like, Larry,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I
mean, he didn't say it about anybody else in the match, but when Scott's in the match, it's like, oh my God. It's like Larry's touching himself behind the desk, I think. So, I mean, granted, Scott was a stud in his younger days with like I said, the porn mustache. Like if he wasn't a wrestler, he could have just gone straight to porn acting. Yeah, he could have given John Holmes a run for his money there. But I'm just,
he could certainly beat the shit out of John Holmes.
Well, yeah, definitely could. He beat John Holmes' own dick. Yeah. But again,
that just gave me the idea for a comic book. AWA Scott Hall beats John Holmes to death with his own dick. Whoever did that Ric Flair Secret Agent, they need to do that one next.
Yeah,
I have that idea.
Where's issue 2 of that book? Come on, man! I want one issue of that.
Yeah.
Oh God! Well, back to this 6-man here. So again, a good back and forth. Everybody gets their shit in here. I make a lot of notes about Nepo Baby Gagne. and his camo pants stands out. I mean, you're dealing with like Larry Zbyszko, who we're not talking about great physicality here. Ray Stevens is an old guy. Nick Bockwinkel isn't quite, a peak physical character here, but no sloucher. And then you got Greg Gagne. It's like, I got a better physique than Greg Gagne.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
just, yeah, then, like I said, and then, like when they do, like every now and then, they'll do like kind of face-offs, and like when he's standing next to, like Henning's not as big now as when he gets on the juice when he goes over to WWE to become Mr. Perfect. He becomes a lot bigger then, but he's still a great physical presence. And then, like I said, Scott's beast, and there's Greg.
And it's like you can even tell the promo skills between Scott and Kurt are so much better than Greg. When they get asked questions, it's
100% here. So, but we get lots of hot shots here. Somehow Nepo Baby gets a hot tag, and he gets some stuff in, and then the terrible looking drop kick. Big schmoz, and Scott ends up getting the win with a wonderful power slam on Ray Stevens there. So
that was a beautiful power slam.
Yeah, it's a good old classic one there, man. So
one of my favorite wrestling moves is the power slam, and Scott
I know. It's kind of a move that he did early on, but then he kind of dropped it by the time he started doing Razor Ramon.
Yeah, it was weird. I was actually surprised to see him bust it out, but it
was kind of. I think it may have been like his early finisher. So that was kind of. But I mean, granted, that's kind of a basic move for big dudes to do anyway, unless you're like your Davey Boy Smith and you kind of turn it into an art. Yeah. But like it was kind of a classic move for him. So then later on he kind of graduates to bigger stuff. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Doom McBoob says, "Who else plays Wrestle Rock Rumble in the car when you're with the chick?"
That's what we call in the business a panty dropper.
That is true. Yeah. Or basically the Handsome Jimmy's old theme song, which actually my buddy Greg, who runs Hero Sports Cards, did a remake of Handsome Jimmy's theme song, and frankly, it's better than the one that was in back in the day. It's a little nastier and dirtier, so it works. Yeah, so I'll let you hear it one time. I got my thumb drive in my car here. So I've got a hard copy. I think it's downstairs in my CDs or whatnot. But like I said, it's a great cover. It's a great cover, buddy. Greg did, yeah. So, and Martin says Swifties are screaming because of the horror they're facing. What horror are they facing? I have no idea.
Come on, Taylor Swift ain't that bad. Yeah, I think he's trying to talk some smack about Tay Tay. I ain't gonna hear no Tay Tay slander today.
Oh, I don't know if it was that, or if Taylor Swift is, are they upset that she got engaged or something? I don't know. See, that's one thing, because my nephew is a huge Swiftie. Right, he's an out and about Swiftie, no frills, no shame about that. So I asked him straight up, like, okay, are you concerned about a downgrading Taylor Swift songwriting now that she's happy and engaged and soon to be married? Because this is kind of like a John Coltrane, Miles Davis kind of situation. They're not on junk anymore, and their music suffers. So Taylor Swift is now no longer single and is in a pleasant, healthy relationship with a man. Will her music suffer?
Well, from what I'm understanding about this, she just had a new album come out like yesterday or today, right?
Okay, yeah.
And apparently I believe it would be her Welcome to My Nightmare in that case, or whatever the sober album is of Alice Cooper. That was Welcome to My Nightmare, right? The sober album. Yeah.
That was it's kind of the start. It wasn't necessarily the beginning of the sober. Like that was his first solo record, and that was a good one. And then he kind of like downgraded, and then Trash. They had Poison on it, Bed of Nails. That was his first sober record.
Okay. So whatever the sober record was, that would be this one, and apparently it's doing gangbusters. So
okay,
yeah.
No, so you got raptured.
No, that ain't gonna. I don't think there's any worry about me getting raptured.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was pretty well safe. Like, the Lord doesn't need me right now, so so he's doing okay without me. So all right, back to see how is it? We started talking about wrestling. We went off on Taylor Swift, then started talking about Alice Cooper. Went back to Taylor Swift, and now we're going to talk about the Road Warriors.
it's just how we do on the Fanatic Forum.
That's the magic of the show here.
It is how we be. But yes, yeah, this is my favorite match on the card. Actually.
Yeah, because we get classic Road Warriors with Paul Ellering with hair.
Yes, yeah,
full
this is
head of hair.
Precious Paul Ellering.
Precious Paul Ellering, yes, sir. And the Freebirds painted up in basically the Confederate flag.
Yeah, the stars and bars. Yeah,
the stars and bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're facing the Warriors, so like they want to paint it up too.
Yeah, and it's like, and again, it's one of them things like in wrestling, like with the Freebirds, like I know the Confederate flag has some issues with it, but it's like for some reason it's like I can't not look at it as a Freebirds thing,
right?
Like, it's just so we're just gonna pretend like it's just a Freebirds thing just for the sake of this. It is
a Freebirds thing. So there you go. But yeah, so of course, lots of Confederate flags, but of course, I love watching Michael PSAs, but basically Terry Bam Bam Gordy,
Bam Bam,
do it, and this is peak Bam Bam. I mean, that kid was just a horse.
Yeah. The commentary that Bam Bam was pushing, or was it 290? Animal was 290, and Hawk was 260, or was 270. Yeah, Hawk had 20 pounds off of Bam Bam and Animal. Yeah. But still, it's like talking about beasts of men in there. And then Michael Hayes running around like a damn chicken with his head cut off, like all over the baseball stadium, just being Michael Hayes.
Michael Hayes.
It's this was just it was a classic match of two of the greatest tag teams ever in their prime, just doing what they do best. And I loved this match. This was the match that it was like I was a kid again in my grandfather's living room, watching, cinema.
But just really, just so awesome just to see everybody in their prime here. Fun match here. So we get good fights back and forth here. Even Paul Ellering and Buddy Roberts on the outside of the ring, they get into it. So like everybody's just going, just beating the shit out of each other. Briefly, we get a win. Basically, where the Freebirds briefly for about 5 seconds become the World Tag Team Champions, but then basically the decision is reversed because they look at the tape and see that Michael Hayes had his foot on the ropes to help get leverage for the pin, and so the decision is reversed. But it's real awkward how it happens on the show because you see like the finish happen as it does. The Freebirds leave with the belts, they walk out. And then there's kind of like some scuttle and whatever else. They cut away to something, and then all of a sudden there's a cutaway shot of now the Road Warriors leaving the stadium with the belts in their hands. Like, how'd they get the belts?
It is very, very bizarre. Yeah.
Where'd those come from? Somebody, like some kid go run back get the belts and bring them out for them. So But Vern Gagne comes out, basically getting his ass on TV one more time, and says, "No, but rewind the tape there, folks. We see, they were cheating. So reverse decision. Road Warriors champions again. So there you go." Got a couple of comments here. Dude Boom says, "I don't think the Rock and Roll Express members have ever done drugs ever."
No.
You know what? They got more ass than a toilet seat at a truck stop. So I'm just saying. They probably didn't have to. And God bless Ricky and Robert anyway. So I love those guys.
I was going to say, I think probably in the 80s they did their fair share, but
they have. You never know, but they're both doing good. So I love those guys. And Steve says he loves the Boogie Woogie Man.
Steve does. He does love the Boogie Woogie Man. Boogie Woogie is his dude.
Yeah, I'll have to play that cover for Steve as well. He would appreciate it. So, all right. Next up here, for the NWA 6-Man Tag Team Championship. And again, some just classic stuff here. We get all 6 of the Russians here. We got Ivan, we got Nikita, and Crusher Khrushchev, a.k.a. Smash, a.k.a. the Repo Man, good old Barry Darso.
Yep.
Honestly, one of the best basically workers, kind of almost a jobber, even though he was half of Demolition, who was one of the most decorated tag teams, but he's still kind of considered, a bit of a jobber because he played multiple roles, but still one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Man, I might piss some people off here. I know people like Demolition a lot, but I always viewed Demolition as like the Kmart Road Warriors.
well,
And,
yeah.
and I know they were responsive to that, but it's like I never looked at like any of their championships or accomplishments as like anything like significant. It just like they
See,
were yeah.
now I always viewed the Powers of Pain as basically the Kmart Road Warriors. Now, yeah, Demolition was obviously a ripoff of the Road Warriors, but they were also kind of their own thing. And they had a badass theme song. I mean, yeah,
They did have a badass theme song. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Road Warriors, when they could, they'd use Iron Man, but Rick Derringer wrote a really badass theme song for Demolition. So
yeah.
Dude says, If the Rock and Roll Express did drugs, it was only in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s.
I would concur. Yes, only in those very short time frames.
Look, Ricky Morton doesn't like cocaine. He just liked the way it smells. Okay, I'm just saying. Again, no shade. God bless Ricky and Robert. I love the rock and roll.
They disgusted their shoe with it.
Yes, they were notorious coke. Yes, I know. Yeah. Eric says he loved Ivan Koloff.
Ivan is Eric's dude. Yeah.
Ivan gets some shit in, and Ivan gets juice in this match too. He's the only one who does get juice.
Yeah.
But Ivan's one of those old school guys though that basically all you gotta do is like flick his forehead and he would have got juice. So
skin like tissue paper.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and thank you, Eric. Demolition was damn good. Yes.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to sign a contract for Eric now. It's like no Demolition slander.
Here comes the axe. Here comes the smasher. We're Demolition. Walking disasters. Pain and destruction is our middle name. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Anywho. On the opposing side against the Russians here, again, this is the old school classic guys here. Baron von Raschke, the wrestler that made Milwaukee famous, Dick the Bruiser, and the Crusher, which the Crusher has had one of the worst haircuts in wrestling for many, many years, and he is still undisputed in that fact.
Yeah.
I mean, a badass old dude, just as badass as like Harley Race, old stretcher, just rough and tumble kind of guy with like a blonde Beatles mop top haircut. And it looked even more ridiculous the older he got.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what the shit? That was a Crusher. That was a Crusher. Very chaotic beginning to the match here. Like I said, beginning, Ivan is the only one that gets juice in the match here. Basically, finish is Ivan gets the pin on Baron von Raschke with a little help from Nikita Koloff here. So basically, our champions retain. So lots of dirty tricks being used in here. A little bit of Crusher Khrushchev, and Ivan uses some dirty tricks, and of course Nikita just being the beast that he was. So
yeah.
There you go. Like, here we go. Dubik Boop saying the only accent worse than Nikita Koloff's effort was Kevin Costner's Boston accent in 13 days.
That's
Great
a deep ass cut. That is a deep ass cut. Yeah.
That is a deep. I like that, dude. I like that.
Oh man.
And I tell you what, though, man, I gotta give props to Nikita Koloff for staying as kayfabe as he did back in the day.
All the time, yeah.
To the point where like seasoned guys like Arn Anderson basically had to tell him to drop the gimmick when he was with other with the boys. Like, dude, you don't have to do that shit when you're with us. But like, he would subscribe to Russian newspapers and magazines and read those things in public, and just hats off to him, man. Like, it's so funny to see him like do interviews now where like he just speaks normal
with his normal voice. It was wild.
And like that little bit of, even though he's been living in Florida for as long as he has, he's still got that little bit of Minnesota in his accent. So it's like, this is such a trip. And he's like, and 40 years ago, he's like, I am the kid. Oh, great shit. Love that stuff. Next match here, Yo Joe, my man, Sergeant Slaughter, coming in with the very briefly, or very short-lived America's Championship from AWA, which that was a real belt, but it lasted for about 5 minutes, and Slaughter, I think, was the only guy who had it.
Yeah.
And he gets to go against Boris Zukov.
And this was Sergeant Slaughter in full G.I. Joe mode. Like,
yes.
This is, to the point where he even name drops it multiple times in the post-match interview.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And of course, we get a little bit of juice in here too, as well.
Sarge gets color.
Yeah. Sarge got color in a lot of his matches. He was a frequent juicer himself too.
He bled for America.
He did. Yo fucking Joe.
Yeah.
Let's see. Boris does basically in true Russian fashion here, Boris attacks for the bell. So he's cheating a win here already, right before we start off here. You mentioned earlier in the show how sometimes the camera gets lost. In the midst of this match, things are just getting started. The director takes a random shot of the crowd.
Yeah.
Nothing's going on. Like, even commentators like, oh, maybe something's going on in the stands. No, there isn't. Not a damn thing's going on. Just somebody takes a wild shot and hangs on it for a few seconds longer than they should have before we get back to the damn match. So
that happened multiple times. There was one time that it just focuses on a random woman for about 5 seconds, and I'm trying to figure out, like, who is she? Is she going to interfere? Nope, it's just a fan that they're just lingering on.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times, too, especially for sporting events, when guys in the truck would get bored, this is speaking for experience working TV stuff, we were basically told, like, find hot chicks.
Okay.
So, basically something for the guys in the truck to look at.
Yeah.
Find hot chicks. There you go. So there you go. So that somebody may have been looking for a hot chick out in the stands, and then somebody took that shot live.
TV, man.
Yeah. We get some action on the outside. They get back in. Basically, we get. Oh yeah, I love the spot where Slaughter is taunting Zukov with the American flag like he's a bull.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah. And of course, we get the Cobra Clutch is slapped on Boris Zukov, but Zukov does the smart thing of knocking the ref out. So we basically, so we get a little bit of stuff going on here. Boris Zukov loads his elbow pad apparently and hits Slaughter with it, and so that causes a disqualification. Basically, they fight off on the outside. They're beating the shit out of each other. Slaughter retains, but it's basically a crazy schmoz at the end there. So
right.
There you go. Dude said, I heard Reagan's original speech in Berlin in 1987. Said, hands of stone, Ronnie Garvin, punch down this wall. And you know what? Ronnie would do that shit.
He would. He'd be very capable of it, too.
Yeah, he certainly would here. Oh, and Martin said that was a blaspheme, Seth. I'm not sure what you blasphemed about, but you blasphemed about something.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's your demolition comments. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm gonna all those views we had, we're going to drop now because I slandered demolition.
Or either that, we could do a podcast crossover because Demolition has a podcast themselves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you want to defend yourselves, Demolition, come on here.
There we go.
We'll have you and Peter Dinklage.
We're now egged on Demolition and Peter Dinklage. But I love this new marketing strategy here. This is great. Oh, shit. All right. Our 11th match on the card. We're getting close to the end here, folks. I promise you. The Ugandan giant Kamala with Sheikh Adnan Al-Kaisi in his corner versus Jerry Blackwell, or as Memphis fans know him better as Crusher Blackwell.
This match I hated.
Yeah, this was basically the fat guys do a body slam match with $10,000 on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a waste of 10 minutes. It was. I've never been a Kamala fan. I've just, I just did not like this match. I did not like it, Sam. I did not like it in the can. I did not like it in the ring. I did not like whatever the hell they were doing with that thing.
That's poetry. Yeah, look. Of course, Sheikh Adnan pulls out every dirty trick in the book. A guy who's not really a sheik, not really from the Middle East at all. He even does a rendition of the Middle Eastern national anthem, which that was basically a grown man babbling in gibberish on the mic for about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Race relations at this time were not like a high priority for
Yes,
pro wrestling.
yes. Thank you, 1980s, for your insensitivity to other cultures.
Yes.
Holy shit! I mean, like he's like, hey, he's gonna. It's like, I mean, it's okay when Nikolai Volkov would get the crowd to stop so he could sing the Russian national anthem. He actually sang the Russian national anthem, which does exist, but then this dude comes out and basically is just spouting gibberish in a somewhat musical tone.
Yeah. Now I will defend Rowdy Piper in Mexico claiming to play the Spanish or the Mexican national anthem on bagpipes and then playing La Cucaracha. Only because it was Piper deliberately trying to be a heel and not because he was trying to be a racist caricature gimmick.
Yes. Yeah, it's the same energy as when Jeff Jarrett throws out tortillas at AAA shows.
Yeah.
It's the same energy. It's like you just I'm a gringo, hate the gringo. So
exactly.
Yeah. So and of course I love this too. We get basically, like I said, Battle of the Fat Guys for this one here. Basically, both guys, and it's the weird thing. It's like it's a slam to win, but there's a period in the match where both guys are knocked down off their feet in various ways. I'm like, even Kamala tries for a pin. It's like, so somebody was confused as shit about the rules of this match here. And we're getting Jerry chants a decade before Jerry Springer's on the show. But we're getting the Jerry. I thought it was kind of interesting. Yeah. Crusher Blackwell gets the win, but immediately afterwards, Adnan Al-Casey attacks him. And here's the thing. He's carrying around a sword. But instead of like doing something with the sword, he hits them with the sword with it in its hilt still. Yeah. Like it's basically like, so it's like whatever. Yeah. And so a couple of jobbers try to come in for the save. They get knocked out of the ring, but then Baron Von Raschke shows up with a baseball bat and he comes in for the save and saves Jerry Blackwell. So there you go. So we get Baron Von Raschke twice on the show here. So
yeah.
Dude asks a very important old school wrestling question here.
Okay.
So, who still hangs out with Rock and Roll Buck Zumhofe? Seems like a good guy. If you don't know the history of Buck Zumhofe, look him up, kids, because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
real. I mean, he's the kind of piece of shit in wrestling that other piece of shits in wrestling talk down about.
Yeah,
so that's how big of a piece of shit Buck Zumhofe is.
Yeah, I like Mr. McBoob here. He's my kind of people.
I do too. Yes, a welcome addition to our fan club here. Yes, sir. All right. This was our next match here. This should have been our main event, but on the tape they switched them out because basically the Stan Hansen Rick Martel match basically doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It is a brawl that starts the match. The match never gets going. It goes all over the stadium and basically literally ends in a dugout brawl.
Yeah, which is awesome to see. It is a good. It's a ballsy way to end an event. So like live, I don't know how I would have felt about it, but seeing it this way on the tape, like I was, I was totally on board and invested with it. It was great. It's another time to see it Stan just in his prime.
It is. Of course, it's interesting to see Martel in this kind of scenario as well, because you're used to seeing a much more scientific chicken shit heel when he was the model over in WWE. So you don't, if you haven't really seen his stuff outside of WWE, then it's interesting to see him as like, kind of like a brave baby face taking it to him. And like, he and Stan had a good, kind of a bit of a program for a brief period of time where, I just got wild and crazy.
Yeah.
So just to see Rick just throw down like it's kind of interesting. But so I think it may have been like a curfew issue because like the Ric Flair Magnum TA match, like you said at the top, is the longest match of the night. And
Yeah.
it goes for a while. So I almost wonder if they ran out of time. And so that's why the Martel Hansen match is so short. But it's like, it's crazy. It's exciting. It never stops, but the match never actually happens.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So,
could be because I didn't even think about that, but you're right. Yeah, because they could have only had the stadium for however long and needed to.
yeah.
Yeah.
They may have had like an 11 o'clock cutoff or something like that for curfew or, whatever
Right.
the case,
Yeah.
for events. So, and dude says he's really cool. We would
I'm really
agree,
cool.
dude.
Yeah.
We would agree, dude. Yeah. You have abided in this episode.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
So there you go. So the Martin says, so the Sheik started modern prophecy and talking in tongues. I find that conclusive. Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if he was talking in tongues, but it was definitely some bullshit going on.
he was, and just because I hated this match so much, he is not the Sheik. He's just a Sheik.
He's a Sheik. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not an Irish Sheik. He's not the Sheik. He's Sheik Adnan El-Casey. Yeah.
Not any of the worthwhile Sheiks. Not the Detroit Sheik. Not the Iron. Yeah. Not Iron. Yeah.
Nope. No. This was basically Timu Sheik here. 100%.
Pretty
here,
much.
So.
Yeah.
All right. So even though this wasn't the last match of the night, if you're watching the YouTube video or watching the classic tapes here, this is the last match on the card here, and this is a banger. Ric Flair. Yeah.
Classic from top to bottom. And it's like, and of course, like everybody knows the history of Magnum TA, like one of the greatest, like what ifs in wrestling. And
Absolutely.
because like Magnum never got to peak in wrestling. Like he was just, he was only on an upward trajectory. And it's like we never saw where he was going to be peak. But this is like he's getting the rub from Ric Flair to have the NWA title match. Like this is a big fucking deal.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Huge. This is basically, like you said, he's getting the rub. He's getting like, you're now in the upper echelon kind of thing here. But super over dude. And if you don't know Magnum TA, he had that classic 80s look of like big old porn mustache, good looking dude, Kentucky waterfall in the back, man. Rode a motorcycle. Like he was just a badass dude, but he was a baby face. The chicks loved him. The dudes wanted to be him. That kind of thing like that. Give you a little extra background. So, of course, Ric Flair is the defending NWA World Heavyweight Champion in this one here. Rick, at this time in 1985, is 36 years old. Magnum is 26, and this is literally a year and a month before the accident.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So, literally, next fall, basically a little bit past this time, he is in his motorcycle accident that ends his career.
Jeez, because it's like he as far as his career trajectory, it's like he was pretty much as good as he was ever going to be right here.
I mean, it was more than likely by 1986, if the accident wouldn't have happened, he may have been World Heavyweight Champion.
Oh yeah, 100%. I absolutely agree. He would have been multiple time NWA champion.
Yeah,
if that accident hadn't happened, and this match was one of the reasons.
Or at least had his first title run in '86. Yeah, but 100% here. So, hey, dude says, if you want to see a kick-ass wrestling match, get the security video from Vern Gagne's retirement home.
Shit.
Oh my god! Is Vern stretching old people before he passed? Oh my god! So we get. Before the match starts here, Larry Nelson gets promos from both competitors. Great short and sweet promos. Magnum is like, he's focused, he's on top, he's got Ric Flair's number, and Ric's like, look, man, I'm Flair, baby. Come on. I'm 85 Flair. What are you gonna do?
Right. You ain't touching me.
You ain't touching. Nowhere close. So basically, we get lots of holds and reversals, a lot of feeling each other out in the match, a lot of good pacing. Really cool kind of start there. Just a great grapple fest.
The psychology behind the grapples too was really impressive because I mean you've got two of the best people that ever stepped in the ring, working together, and Flair loved to pick his opponents. And, one of his favorites was Magnum. And Yeah.
He still talks about how Magnum was so good there. So
yeah.
Let's see here. So, of course, Magnum gets Flair in an armbar, starts getting an early lead. And, of course, Magnum starts getting on top a little bit, pulls off a drop kick, which Magnum had a great drop kick, too.
Oh, yeah.
And, Flair starts doing the classic kind of begging off, basically, getting the ref involved here, slowing the pace down. Flair regains control without touching Magnum, which is that was a great Flair move he would do. Is basically you stop, you got some momentum going, you stop the momentum. Oh, please don't hurt me. He's on his knees, stuff like that. Gets the ref involved. All that momentum just killed now.
Yeah.
So just great stuff there. Basically, we try to get Magnum, trying to get a comeback there. He whiffs a drop kick. Flair starts getting control. He gets control of the abdominal stretch or abdominal. God, I can't fucking say it. Abdominal stretch. So get control with that there. Magnum managed to slap on a figure 4 though.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I love Flair always begging on. Like he sells a figure 4 like nobody's business. It's agony to see Ric Flair selling a figure 4.
It's the worst pain in the world, apparently. Yeah, I mean, people who've had kidney stones going, man, that guy had it rough.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. We get some action going the outside here. Flair runs Magnum into the post. Surprisingly, no juice though. We get back in there. Flair gets a hammer lock on. Basically, tries for a pin. Gets some foots on the ropes for leverage. Doesn't happen quite yet, but we do get some juice though. Yeah. We do. It happens a little bit later on, but not the parts we thought it was. Basically, we get Flair working the arm. Magnum tries to come back, but gets a cutoff. We get this awesome crucifix pin sequence here, where Flair keeps trying to put Magnum in a crucifix pin, but then Magnum will bridge himself to get his shoulders up. So just to show the athleticism this dude had, man, that's impressive to pull off a bridge. Basically trying to pull off a bridge during a crucifix pin where basically your arms and your shoulders are pinned back. So it's all core and leg strength that he's doing that with. So, that was impressive there. Magnum gets Flair in a sleeper. We get another 2 count, foot on the rope sort of situation. Flair reverses, gets a body splash on, knees to Magnum's midsection. Then Flair gets the figure 4 on, but Magnum reverses it. And again, you want to talk about another pain that Flair goes through. He puts that figure 4 on, but as soon as somebody turns him over, he's back in Pain Town again here. Let's see here. We trying to go for a second figure 4, but Magnum reverses it into a roll up 2 count. Magnum gets back on top, and then Flair does his famous ass over tea kettle where he gets thrown out of the corner there. How he never broke his neck doing that?
Yeah, I have no clue. Yeah,
I mean, he did that move the entirety of his career, but he'd get, you've seen it hundreds of times in any Ric Flair match. He gets tossed in the corner, he goes, flips over the ropes, he gets tossed outside, but just like crazy.
Yeah,
crazy stuff. Great there. Basically, Magnum runs Flair into the post after Flair's on the outside. Now Flair's got some juice.
Yep.
Because it wouldn't be a Ric Flair match without a little bit of...
that's right, yeah.
Magnum keeps trying to open him up, get a 2 count, lots of false finishes. Magnum almost gets the win with the belly-to-belly, which is one of his signature moves. Magnum goes for another roll-up, but Flair reverses it for another roll-up, pulls the trunks, and gets the 1, 2, 3. The ref doesn't count it, or the ref doesn't see it. Vern Gagne doesn't come out to reverse the match, so therefore, Magnum got screwed.
Yep. Yeah, because Flair wasn't losing the title just yet, but
not quite yet. But God, just for the price alone of seeing that match, wow.
Yeah, that the
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
whole show top to minus the body slam match. I mean, I enjoyed the whole thing really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun to go back through and just see some classics, see some people in their heyday. The best that they ever were. Just yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did this.
I absolutely, yeah. Just like I say, we were talking, about show ideas. Like, okay, we've done a couple of movie things. Like, let's talk wrestling. But like, I don't want to talk about, like modern day kind of stuff. Like, there's really not much going on right now. And then
Right.
you're like, well, hey, Supercard, popped up on the Vault channel. Like, that's a great idea. So I think a new segment is born here. So,
Yeah, we were definitely going to revisit this from time to time with other classic shows. And
mhm.
yeah, we'll try and announce them ahead of time too, so that like you can watch along with us, or
Yeah, or watch ahead of time. Oh,
yeah.
I got to bring this one up here from old dude here. Has anyone else got their merchandise from Power Town Wrestling? Okay, so if you don't
Wow.
know, Greg Gagne, Nepo Baby Jones, there, hooked up with this group called Power Town Wrestling, who basically they're supposed to be doing wrestling figures, kind of similar to like the LJN style, like the big rubber guy kind of figures, right?
Yeah.
And so Greg Gagne would like hit all like the wrestling fan shows, and like he signed up like 200 some odd people to get their likenesses to be made into figures. The first wave of figures, over 2 years, I think now, people are still waiting on the first run of figures.
Yeah.
There was a podcast that came out very recently where basically the people of Power Town, Greg Gagne, and unfortunately our fellow guy we just talked about, Magnum TA, is on the podcast answering fan questions. Basically, the fans are like, "Where's our money? Where's our figures? What the hell?" And Magnum's kind of getting hot. Greg's basically trying to pull used car salesman, and it's a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. But apparently, if you haven't got your figures, Greg Gagne said you must have got the wrong address.
That's
Again,
that's some interesting shady shit. Yeah.
it just say we don't have the money or the resources to pull the figures off. We haven't got them out yet, or anything like just
Yeah.
some kind of truth, some kind of answer. But that like I heard all about this on the Cornet podcast. By the way, I haven't watched this podcast myself. I heard about it third hand via Corning. Yeah, it's like basically the fans who have put in their money to buy these figures from Power Town have got all of jack shit right now. So,
Wow.
and Greg Gagne is the face of this company and the face of recruitment for it. And there you go. What goes around comes around, Greggy. Oh, all right. Well, this has been a fun ass show, man.
It has been. I enjoyed it. It's been a good way to spend a Friday night.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week here, folks. So, thank you guys for tuning in here, especially our new people coming in here.
Yes.
Dude McBoob, where's Scott? I think you had him in here earlier, too. Sorry, getting past all the comments in here. But yeah, Jacob in here. And of course, our boys, Martin, V, Steve, Eric, Bill
Yep.
in here. Yeah, good to see everybody
The whole
in here.
Fanatic crew. Thank you all for hanging. And
Love it.
again, don't forget to follow me on Letterboxd at Seth Manhammer. You can, we'll talk movies and whatnot because I try and throw up a little review I'm going to try and throw up a little review for whatever I watch. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. And dude says, watch for comments from ATF Media on Cornet Clips and in the Hannibal chats. He references Hands of Stone and Running Garment off of him.
All right.
Also, a handsome and smart fellow. I wonder.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
That's an interesting sell. Okay.
ATF and Dude McBoob may be the same person here, but that's okay. That's okay.
Huh. Yeah.
Eric says, "Effluent, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man."
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for hanging with us, brother.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, like and share the Fanatic Forum, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook here. Share it with your friends and family. Spread the word here, even people you don't like here. We talk all things geek here, not just wrestling. We talk movies, comic books, video games. Seth has his effed up history segment here, so all kinds of fun stuff here. So, yeah, we love hanging out with you guys, sharing our passions. We love it when you share it with us, too. So, thank you guys for tuning in here, and we will leave you with a word from our friends at Comic Books for Kids. But until next week, we'll see you next time.
My name is Mark Weiss, and I am the founder and president of an organization called Comic Books for Kids. 6 years ago this month, we embarked on a journey of passion and heart. Our goal was to make a difference for children in hospitals and cancer centers. Little could we have ever imagined the response we have now. Starting with just hopes and dreams, we had no money for our mission. We had no product to give to the hospitals, and we had only called a couple hospitals and asked them, if we were to provide you with comic books, would you be interested? And they said yes. So we embarked on a 1-year journey to make a difference for these kids. We realized that even though we can't take away the reason these children are in hospitals, we can perhaps, while they are there, let them fly like a superhero, be princes and princesses, and embark on a mystical and magical journey to take them away from where they are in that hospital bed. Today, and thanks to your support, we are thrilled to say that we are now the largest charity in the U.S., supporting well over 200 hospitals in all 50 states for not only comic books, but for other pop culture items like Funko Pops, action figures, coloring books, Spanish bilingual items, backpacks, and more. When we received materials that were inappropriate for the young ones, we started a sister charity called Comic Book for Truth. And overnight, we became the largest charity in the U.S. for these same items to all branches of the military. We want to thank our friends for providing us their support and for allowing us the means to make so many happy with their gracious give to us.